What's going on, folks? Painless. Yeah, you're getting a 2 for 1 today. Um, but you see the title. And this is, it's new players. And I've said that in past videos. Like everybody's on YouTube. Everybody's on YouTube, folks. Back in the day, it used to be YouTube, because I've been on YouTube since '09, 2010. I remember when Tommy Sotomayor came out. Well, nobody's checking for his ass. But it just so happened I was doing subject matter on black women, and he was doing it. I remember when Tommy first came out, but this ain't about him. It's just to highlight how long I've been on here. Now, I've talked extensively about race, social matters, there's things that are going on, geopolitical, economic, things like that. Who did this, what for, and why not. But I've always been a proponent that there is no brown and black coalition. There's no brown and black, and many of y'all know that. I've been speaking on this forever, to ad nauseum. There is no brown in this whole idea. And, you had the likes of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and he would always tout this brown and black. And if you really look and dig into it, you hear a lot of so-called black leaders talk about this black and brown shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's non-existent to me. Now, on the other hand, Hispanic leaders, so-called, whatever, La Raza, the motherfuckers don't be talking about no black and brown. And and all this shit, folks, is intertwined and coupled in with the whole democratic way of thinking. The whole woke shit, the whole wokeism shit. That was a term. I forget who the brother who did it. Stay woke. It was a song. But wokeism has always been upon us. This whole idea of enlightenment, like this motherfucker next to you got more thinking and more insight and more understanding than y'all four motherfuckers across the room. And what that does is it creates a sense of arrogance. Like, I know more. And I've said this, and I'm pretty sure this shit go on in other groups. But when you're dealing with black folks, anytime you come with some newfound information, motherfuckers get this. People get to, well, damn, painless. You a nappy headed Negro like me. Shit, how you get this information? Who is you? What makes you think? How are you privy to this information? You know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm very selective. Like, I did a video Funny, I went through my videos just to see. But I did a video as of recent saying that's why I'm selective of the type of I'm selective of the type of black men that I deal with, the type of brothers that I deal with. And because I know anytime you come with some new information that what I just described, that how you get this and I ain't got it. That type of mentality, that type of thought comes in the mind of them very Negroes. That's why I don't go around touting shit. I don't go around. If you ask me, you getting it's full throttle. But I don't go around all that shit. And I've seen brothers and sisters do that shit, and they end up with cake on their goddamn face. But to get on into the title, American Cholo, and this whole thing with Tyga. See, let me tell you something. Many of y'all know I am familiar with the Los Angeles area. I spent a summer there right after the riots in '93, and I spent a summer there. And the last time I was in Los Angeles, tough in them South Central streets, was '08. No, I take that back. It was right before I got divorced, so like 2015. So I was there in '93, went back in '08, then went back in 2015. And a lot of my family, not a lot of my family, but my family, they lived in the area called the Hoovers in the 50s, and I'm very familiar with the 50s, Fig and Flower, 52nd and Flower, 54th Street, all in the 50s, 47, the Hut and all that. And I'm gonna leave that alone because I ain't gonna speak on that no more on that affiliate. I'm not affiliated, but this y'all know what I'm talking about from the streets. So this whole thing. Look, I'm 43 years old, and and most guys my age, and especially older than me, we were taught how to fight. Now, being taught how to fight doesn't mean you out here, calling everybody out. Hey, I need that. Oh, we got a thump. But no, black, and I come from, and most people my age and older than me, especially in the South, and I've always said in the South, yeah, you had gangsters. You have gangsters. You had gangsters, but those same guys will hold the door open for a woman, carry for a Medea or a grand, or holding over, holding open the door for those women who were carrying groceries or doing whatever. But they'll knock your ass the fuck down if you don't pay them their money, if you disrespect. See, respect was a big thing back then. Like smut on somebody, or bad dealings, or this gossip on someone's name was very, like, that could get you in a bad place, to where now, and I'm gonna tell you a prime example. I'm gonna tell you an example, and I know personal examples like that I've heard, but I'm gonna say for all you all that you can quickly kind of click on and see. There was a scene in The Wire in which Marlo, the up and coming G, you know what I'm saying? The up and coming dope boy, whatever, in the neighborhood, moving in on the Barksdale's territory. And he had two hitters, Snoop and I forget my man name, Chris. Chris and Snoop. Them was his two hitters. He had two, this legit hitters. Anything that needed to be reckoned or knocked down, Snoop and Chris was on the job. There was a particular episode in where Snoop and Chris were sitting in the car and they were on a hit, coincidentally. Okay? Snoop asked Chris, so, it was business as usual for them. Snoop asked Chris, so, hey, what the motherfucker did? And Chris was like, said some shit like, Marlo performs fellatios on guys. We got to knock his ass down. And then they had a young boy in the back, up and coming, potential prospect, hitter, said, so, hey, and he asked a question, so we over here on some basically some she say shit. And then I think I can't remember, it was Chris and Snoop said, it don't matter, the shit's out in the street. We gotta hit them. And see, I bring that up because that's how it used to be. It didn't matter if it was true or not. The very fact that it was out on the street. Somebody got to get laid down. It's kind of like how, and this is for my people that is born in the early 80s and 70s back. It's kind of like, it's not kind of like, it is like, anytime goddamn Roderick, say you hear some boys then broke into a house, in an abandoned house. Everybody in the neighborhood know that house has been abandoned. You got old Miss Green that watched every goddamn, she was the eyes and she was big brother in the neighborhood. Watched every goddamn thing, head on a swivel, see every goddamn thing, report everything. She said, I saw about 5 little not-ahead black boys break into that abandoned house. And then, the word break out. And then somehow you hear Painless name in that shit. See, I'm from the era to where even if your damn name, you be like, Mama, I wasn't over there. Daddy, I wasn't over there. Daddy, I was. The very fact that your name was wrapped up in some mess, you got that strap. You got that. You got your behind toe up. That's the era I'm from. But I know I went off in the weeds. But yeah, this American Cholo, I was familiar with him way before this issue. He's buzzing on YouTube, and I knew he was one of those typical Hispanic Mexican gang member types that teeters on bullshit. And I've talked about this extensively. I said, y'all, and that's what I was talking about earlier about my family in California until I got off in a tangent. But see, black folks didn't play that shit back in the day. But then I say this too. Why I did spend time down there in Los Angeles? See, South Central right now, especially on the east side, is goddamn Tijuana Central. And I've said this before. Y'all black folks in California, man, y'all in some bad, in especially Southern California, y'all fucked in the game. Y'all need to, look, give that to Jose and Maria. That's they shit now. Like when I was in the night there after the riots, you saw some Mexicans here and there, but when I went back in motherfucking '08, when I went back when I went back in '08, I was like, God damn. And then it was like, God damn in 2015. Ain't too many, I mean, you got, the east side, man, like the east side. But the east side, the low bar, all that, east side has always been raggedy versus the west side and South Central. Like South Central, I mean, it's raggedy on the west side, but when you go to that motherfucker east side, man, when you go up in Watts is raggedy. Watts is a raggedy ass, depressing ass place. Last time I was there, garbage all over the goddamn place. But I say all that to say that, look, Hispanic Latinos makes that's them. That's L.A. That's L.A. now. And like I said, we were taught how to fight in my era. I look at a lot of black young boys, they don't know how to fight. See, in the Hispanic culture, yes, you got a lot of single mamas, but there's still a patriarchal, there's some men, and they teach they teach fundamentals, and I've talked about this in boxing. Like how we got it, we made it. We've made it as, and it goes against how it directly goes against the notion that black people are pouring on it, because black boxers back in the shit, you could go anywhere from 40s and up, like couple of my favorite boxers are Marvelous Marvin Hagler and B Hop, Bernard Hopkins, James Toney, because they were relentless. They didn't kowtow. They didn't run and shit. They stood and boxed. Tommy Hitman Hearns. I'm a boxing fan. Those are some of my favorite boxers, especially Marvelous Marvin Hagler. He was relentless. He was always in your face. He was never back there. He was always on the prowl. And I would say out of all those boxers that I named, while there's some of my favorite, Marvelous Marvin is number one. Because he was relentless. Hands are still big hands, always conditioned. You know what I'm saying? You don't see that's when growing up as a black male, we were rough and tough back then. Now we try to be cute and try to be slick and always pulling out that burner to handle business instead of fighting. And I know that motherfuckers say you don't fight no more. And yeah, that's true. But I tell you what, when you go behind them walls And speaking of the walls in California, this is why I say black folks need to leave California. Do you know when you go behind them penitentiary walls in California, it's racial as fuck? And guess what? It's always the blacks against the whites and the Hispanics. They team up on the blacks. Now, I've been known this because I've had family go into the California state prisons. And, you hear shit. So it wasn't nothing new. It's not until I saw the shit on the internet, I'm like, I've been on this. Motherfuckers been on this if you tapped in. And American Cholo is just that. He's part of that. And, American Cholo, he was on, what's that dude's name? What's Buddy's name? Alonzo, the street gang nigga, street TV, whatever. He did an interview with him, and he had American Cholo had a homeboy. And, even the dude, I be watching these guys because many times I've spoke about this, but now that this guy has been really on the kite, American Cholo, and I'm seeing his name a lot because I've been watching American Cholo. I've been watching Neil Dezard, which is this brother. He's a brother. He dark as me, and I mean he's black, obviously black, but talking about he a South Side of Serena. Now, me having some familiarity with California, Los Angeles gang, I know there are black South Siders. I know that. But to me, when you get on the internet and go hard in the motherfucking paint, like, yeah, I'm a black Southsider, and you make it known that you kind of don't fuck with your own people that look like you, to me, that's a red flag. So I've been watching him too. And I put them on, I pin them. I pin those guys. I pin them. Like you do a Twitter tweet. I pin them. I pin Neil Dezard. I pin American Cholo. And coincidentally, American Cholo had a partner on there who was, to me, more hard in the paint in terms of racism. Because these guys, anyway, they fell out. And there's videos of him and American Cholo falling out. And see, shit like this while y'all brothers and sisters up here talking about white supremacy and white man, the white man, the white man, the white man, the white woman, it's the motherfuckers like American Cholo who you gotta watch out for. Because I'm gonna tell you why. They're not white. Well, I mean, they don't proclaim to be white. But they want, like I said, about the California penal system. And if you look back in the California penal system, in La M and all that bullshit, you know what I'm saying? It was a white dude that kind of put the edicts out on how they're going to program. Like, look, we're going to band together with the fucking air. And this is why I say, and all this shit can be in everyday society. So you had I think his name was Robot, I think the motherfuckers was from Croatia or somebody. But coincidentally, the Hispanics let them in. The Hispanic law MA in the California penal system, they let Samoans in, they let Koreans, Japanese. But if you black, you can't get in that bitch. You can't be a top hitter. You can't be a made man in the La MA in the California penal system. If you Samoan, you can. If you goddamn Japanese, you can. But if you black, yeah, you got black Serenos. But you can't you be a soldier. You could be a crash dummy. But see, this is the thing. A lot of young Hispanics, by me talking to family members that are young guys that are still in that life. Here and there, I don't talk to these guys extensively, but this, a lot of these South young Hispanic Mexicans on the street, your 18 streeters and all these motherfuckers, they ain't feeling that Laime shit. They ain't feeling that shit. They kind of go at it like how young black men looking at like I just did the video, looking at old, less quality niggas. Like, all you old motherfucker, big mustache, Ed Holmes, goddamn Ben Davis up to your goddamn navel, that shit is out. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these young Mexican dudes, they ain't feeling that Laime shit. You know what I'm saying? They, especially with this money to be made, they're like, this is a new era. Fuck all that shit. And then especially when you get there and you fucking with racist ass swastika, Aryan Brotherhood motherfuckers. But see, it's motherfuckers like American Cholo and his homeboy that they fell out with. I forget this motherfucker, man. I don't know, motherfucking, what's the motherfucker that used to eat hamburgers from goddamn Popeye? He looked like his ass with a mushroom, with a broom mustache. He's finicky little motherfucker. See, it's those motherfuckers that still are trying to be relevant. Ain't nobody checking for motherfucking American Cholo, young Mexican men that out here trying to rap, breaking the industry, and do some shit, fucking with brothers on the side. You know what I'm saying? When you go to California, when you go to motherfucking Los Angeles, you don't see no bald head, Dickie wearing, Cortez wearing Mexicans no more. You see motherfucking Mexicans with their goddamn Edgar, with their motherfucking, they wear their hair try to wear their hair like brother. And it's funny, when I was in San Antonio, there was a meme. You see that shit all in Texas. You know what I'm saying? The Mexican guys trying to wear their hair like brothers. And now that shit is in California too. They wear ball fades. You don't see no motherfucking Mexicans rolling around like it's goddamn 1995. With Ben Davis and the goddamn belt with the set on it. And the number 13 Rich Gannon jersey. Talking about, hey, Holmes, orderly. That's not how the Mexican guys are fucking rocking in Los Angeles or San Diego or Bakersfield or San Bernardino. The motherfuckers ain't rocking like that, so they not feeling that shit. It's old, like I just said, the video I just did about old heads needing to shut the fuck up and stand down and let these young guys rock. And I've heard about how the penal system now is in California. I got a cousin, me, Painless, personally. I have a cousin that worked Old Folsom for 20 plus goddamn years. And he's gave me the skinny on shit. And his brother, which those are two of my older cousins. And he's about to retire here any moment now. So that whole, that Laime shit, what's killing Laime is motherfucking young Hispanic men like, okay, yeah, I'm Mexican. Yeah, I'm El Salvadorian. Yeah, I fucks with that. And which means you should be, yeah, that's cool. But then when you get it, we're working with these motherfucking skinhead, racist motherfuckers. I just saw a video last week, we had this white guy. I think he was in Arizona or some shit. They was like in a lounge or some shit, and he was a nice, he was a sizey white guy. And there was some Mexicans, Arizona, and he was calling them all type of beaners and spicks, calling them women a spick bitch, and really nobody would do nothing. Then I assume, one Hispanic guy, a Mexican guy, said, what? And he got up on him. Throwing chair, throwing like retaliate, like you ain't gonna do this shit amongst us. And that's the thing. American Cholo American Cholo is a remnant of the past. I mean, look at this nigga. He still wears 3 flowers. This motherfucker probably got jars of Tess flowers, hair grease, in this goddamn bathroom cabinet with the goddamn hairnet. You know what I'm saying? See, those motherfuckers is out. They're out. They're out. They're done. They're becoming irrelevant. And I could go in on Tyga and that stupid ass. The video was, first off, Tyga, coincidentally, was really tough with some family, with a guy named T-Rail. I've never met T-Rail. I have family members that know T-Rail because T-Rail comes directly from my cousins and some family members' neighborhood of the Hoovers, the 5 Deuce Hoovers in the 50s. So I don't know T-Rail. I've never met Schoolboy Q, but T-Rail and Tyga, they did some business. And Tyga to me, I was indifferent to it. He did some shit, put out some work, in terms of the music business. But I was indifferent to him. I hear Tyga. He did a song maybe in 2018 with, I forget who he did it with. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That shit was hot. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, yeah. That shit was hot. That shit was banging. But, when I saw Tyga, and this is when T-Rail stopped fucking with him. Because when he was with T-Rail, like, them Hoover niggas wasn't like letting, they wasn't letting, that nobody could touch Tyga. But soon as T-Rail stopped fucking with Tyga, you see this nigga getting gaffled up by security in clubs, begging, please let me go, please. But when T-Rail, see them Hoover niggas, they wasn't, no, it was, he was insulated. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a trip, man. But American Cholo, that's the type of shit that I talk about, like black and brown unity is a farce. Now, some people be like, well, Payne, are you? No, I have nothing. No, nothing. I got Mexican homeboys. And I know I sound like the white guy. I got black friends. No, I got Mexican homeboys. Mexican homegirls. But we come from a different era. And, coincidentally, we come from the same era that American Cholo comes from. But see, the thing is, and I'm just saying this, and motherfuckers have said this, and that's why I tell you black folks in Los Angeles, y'all need to come on back. Don't bring that punk shit down here to the South. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But the way they doing y'all out there, Is, I mean, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? God damn. But I I'm gonna just say this, we didn't it was hard and I'm just saying this, like, and I can speak from my being in the even in the military, in the army. Like, man, shit. Mexicans, like, you get some Mexican can throw down, but for the most part, man, we wasn't fucking. We were hugging because I was stationed in Colorado. I mean, going to clubs in Denver. And shit, it'd be a gang of Mexicans, and we'd be hollering at all the Mexican chicks. Them motherfuckers ain't do shit. But see, I don't want to go there like that. You know what I'm saying? But nah, make a long story short, shit, ain't that Hispanics should be, Mexicans should be proud of their heritage. You should be proud of your motherfucking heritage. And if you do some punk ass bullshit like that whack ass Tyga video, I can see how some Mexicans were upset. First, to me, the video, I like, damn. And then he said, I don't know why he said I didn't have a clue. I'm like, motherfucker, ain't you from Carson or some shit, Compton, Long, whatever the fuck? Cause he ain't from he ain't from the 50s. He ain't from Five Deuce. He ain't grow up in Five Deuce territory. You know what I'm saying? He got an honorable mention by T-Rail. Okay? But, like, that video, you didn't think it would have some blowback? It was a stupid ass video. Like, it didn't even, like, why would you make a video like that? Like, I'm like, damn, you got a fetish for motherfucking Mexican chicks and Mexican dudes? Like, him and YG, they always in this Reba dressing up in goddamn whatever the motherfucker mariachi suits and making videos about Mexican women and shit like this. Like, to me, that's a call. That's like you trying to signal on some shit. But anyway, I'm gonna let this alone and painless out.